Willst du mit mir in die Kiste? Willst du mit mir in die Kiste? Do you want to get into the box with me? What does it mean if a German asks you that? Well, technically it can mean plenty of things, from funny to seductive. Because for some reason the German language is full of boxes. There are small ones and medium-sized ones and big ones. And most importantly, rhetorical ones. Let's have a look at that. Die Kiste means the box, which can be a cardboard box like this one, also referred to as der Karton. It's actually a French word, but if you want to sound like a true German, you have to say das Croissant, der Kosenk, der Karton. What was that? However, die Kiste can also be made out of metal, plastic or wood. It can have a lid or no lid. And you can even call a treasure chest die Schatzkiste, even though die Schatztruhe is more common, I would say. You see, already talking about die Kiste as an actual physical object, a container for storage, there's quite a variety of what it can be. In this context, willst du mit mir in die Kiste would literally mean... But believe me, there is way more that this sentence can mean. So let's think outside of the box now and find out what else is eine Kiste in German. First up, it could be a car. And it doesn't matter one bit if it's an old rusty Volkswagen Polo or a brand new Porsche. Yeah, that's how you say that, Porsche. The only thing that changes is the subtext. Looking at a hot sports car, you may hear geile Kiste. Great box. What a typical German compliment for something that costs you thousands. But if it's an ancient car, you know, the kind that goes when you try to start it, like it's about to break down, then it's eine Schrottkiste. In English, if your car is old, you may call it a bucket or a rust bucket. In German, it's a box of scrap. Following that logic, willst du mit mir in die Kiste could be just an offer to carpool. But that's not the most likely meaning, so let's keep looking. Because Kiste can also refer to a computer or like a laptop, as long as it's roughly box-shaped, I guess. Therefore, die Schrottkiste could be a malfunctioning computer as well. We've all been there. You work on something important, spend hours without saving, and then your computer crashes. Yeah, that's when you say Schrottkiste, followed by a whole cascade of curses that I will not include in this video because YouTube would instantly demonetize me. Chill, YouTube. I'm behaving, okay? Don't send me to jail. Which leads me to the next meaning of die Kiste, a prison or a prison cell. Not all that far-fetched, is it? Let's face it, that's kind of what it is. Limited space that contains something. In that case, you, after being a bad boy. You will rarely find Kiste used this way in a serious news report, though. That's strictly slang. Umgangssprache. Kannst du mich hören, Robert? Wir haben den Einbrecher. Der geht jetzt erstmal für ein paar Jahre in die Kiste. So willst du mit mir in die Kiste an incitement to crime? Well, it could be, but jail is not directly what it's all about. From prisons to butts. That was top 2 of the weirdest transitions I've ever made. What I'm trying to say is, die Kiste can also describe a big, rather square-shaped butt. Somewhat similar to the English trunk, I guess. Be careful though, no body shaming here, okay? All butts are beautiful. Don't quote me on that out of context. But that kind of box is obviously not the source of do you want to get into the box with me? Yeah, don't even think about it. Don't think about it. Instead, let's jump to the next very light-hearted topic, death. Using a bit of dark, morbid humor, Galgenhumor, you can call a coffin die Kiste too. It's actually der Sarg in German. But to be fair, it's also a box in a way. It's the final box you'll ever occupy. Like the prison meeting, it's strictly colloquial and highly informal. You would never say that at a funeral to somebody who's actively grieving. You have to be aware that it's used to talk about death in a detached, cynical, or darkly funny kind of way. So when I said this in the beginning, willst du mit mir in die Kiste? Was I inviting you to your final demise? To share a coffin with me? No. So let me finally tell you what it most likely means when you hear this sentence from a German. We had cars, computers, butts and coffins. But die Kiste doesn't stop there. It can refer to yet another rectangular box-shaped object. A bed. Historically, that comes from old school German military or student slang.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Back in the day, beds in barracks or cheap student housing were often just basic boxy wooden frames pushed against a wall. But the metaphor stuck. Today, die Kiste is still used to talk about sleeping, alone or with another person. For example, ich bin total müde. Ich gehe jetzt in die Kiste. I'm totally wiped out. I'm heading into the box now. Or ich bin heute Morgen einfach nicht aus der Kiste gekommen. Ugh, I just couldn't get out of the box. Or willst du mit mir in die Kiste? Do you want to go to bed with me? And yes, it has exactly that innuendo. Mit jemandem in die Kiste gehen, mit jemandem in die Kiste steigen, mit jemandem in die Kiste springen, jemanden in die Kiste kriegen. It all has the same meaning. Say it with me. It's all about... You didn't honestly think I would say out loud in a family-friendly YouTube video, did you? Oops. What other meanings of Kiste do you know? And which Kiste is your favorite? Tell me in the comments and see you next time. Now, Ruhe in der Kiste and bye!